Hey y'all, JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, Love is Blind season 9 reunion came on last night, and y'all know we gotta talk about it. That's why we here. Make sure you're coming into the video, you're liking up the video, you're subscribing to the channel, and you're also making sure that your notification bells are on. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So they open up the show being outside. It's outside, and I must say that actually was cute. I like the set. I like everything being outside, but being the fact that I'm a person that gets cold very quickly, I would have hated it for the most part. I would have hated it if I had to be in the audience or be a part of the cast, right? And I'm sitting outside and it's cold as hell. You could see the wind kind of blowing when you're looking at the trees. You could tell it's a bit cooler because you have audience members under blankets. And shout out to them for being a bit more accommodating to the audience members and allowing them to be covered with blankets, okay? Because girl, it looked like it was cold out here. Now, another thing, they had this guy named Miles Smith to come out and open the show. I've never heard of this man a day in my damn life, but obviously quite a bit of the audience did because you saw people singing along and they enjoyed the music. So shout out to him because I would hate to get up there and I'm singing a song, honestly, and don't know damn body know who the hell I am and I'm on this national platform and ain't nobody in the audience singing. But then again, when you love what it is that you do, that's fine because the whole goal is to get introduced to a new audience anyway, which is why he really came on the show. Okay, so shout out to him. The cast, they get ready to walk down. I actually like the fact that this man was singing live and they had these folks walking down. You know what? I said this season was such a non-traditional season in my personal child because it was so different. It was a not normal season where everybody at the end of the day did not get married. Nobody got married. So I said, you know what? I'll take a completely different reunion with a completely different damn show. For the first time, I feel like these cast members got it right. Don't go on and marry somebody that you really don't feel right in your heart to marry. It would have been better if some of y'all would have saved people a trip from getting to the damn aisle and wasting that money and wasting people's flight money to book a flight knowing what y'all go the decisions that y'all are gonna make. But at the end of the day, at least you made the decision and you didn't allow a wedding to force you, manipulate you into saying yes to a person that you were not trying to say yes to. So I'm not gonna come down on y'all. It looks like Love is Blind and sat up there and got them a budget, honey, and I'm not mad at it. The cast walked down, being Megan being first. Now Megan came down not pregnant. I am fully aware of the rumors that are out there with the people saying that, oh, Megan was caught out here with this guy and this baby. And somebody sent me the photos, and honestly, for me, I thought it was AI for a second because I said, I don't know if this is really her because I only see the back of her head. It's not showing her face. So is this really her? I see this baby. I see this guy. Are we sure? But she did walk down looking a bit more thicker than what she typically is, especially when she sat down. That's when I noticed it more. And I had to go back and rewind. And I said, oh, did she have a child? Because she damn sure gained a little weight. And I said, well, sometimes, that grown woman weight hits you at some point. I don't know. We'll see. Right. And we ended up learning that information. Of course, everybody pretty much comes down the stairs. Everybody looked nice. I can't think, I think every single person for the most part for me looked nice. There was only one thing that stood out that I really did not like, and that was Joe's MAGA mustache. And I just could not take that. The MAGA mustache was killing me softly. I said, baby, no. Joe, why did you go do that? Why did you do that? I don't know what be going on in men's heads when they decide all of a sudden to have this thick ass beard. I feel like having a thick beard makes sense when you get up in age, and or not beard but a mustache. Having a thicker mustache makes sense when you get up in age and you about ain't got no hair, and the only thing that's willing to grow is the hair around your face because it's not growing on your head. Then that makes sense, right? You know what I'm saying? Just let me. But girl, Joe, you done sat up there and aged yourself by 10 years just off having a damn MAGA mustache. And it's crazy to me. But let's keep going. Now, what I did wish, honestly, was that the guys was on one side and the girls was on one side because ain't nobody get damn married. We definitely could have had all girls on one side, all guys on one side. In my personal, right? But they had the main people sitting on the sofas and then a few of the people sitting on the chairs behind them. I said, it is what it is. Let's keep going. They opened up the show with Megan and Jordan. And I feel like the fact that they spent so much time on Megan and Jordan's story, I feel like they probably could have been closer to the end. And being that they spent so much less time, I ain't even going to say so much, not so much time on KB and Edmond, they really could have been the first ones to talk and let's get this out the way. in all honesty. But let's go ahead and talk about Megan and Jordan, because Jordan was asked about his thoughts on why Megan ended things with him. And it's like, why are you asking him? I love when he said, don't ask me, ask her, she right here. I said, I know that's right. I can't tell you why she ended things, and I don't even want to attempt to tell you why the fuck I think she ended it. Go ask that woman. She's sitting right there. Okay. I love that he said that. And of course, Megan says, yes, it was a difference in the lifestyle, and she wishes that she would have given him more grace. But, she also was scared too. And I think she was thinking about that money. She was thinking about that money. I think she also thought about times that she may wanted to show up as a mom to Luca. They probably was gonna tell her, "You're not his mom. You're not my mom." I think that was another thing that she wasn't prepared to enter. As much as she wants to be a mommy or whatever, she wasn't ready to hear though when that child say, "You ain't my mama." Hello, and she didn't want to hear Jordan tell her that too. Okay, and also her love language versus his love language. It just, I mean, of course they're gonna be different, but it didn't seem like he was as open to hers. But I don't know. They just had some issues, and I think that ultimately she made the best choice. She made the best choice. I mean, for real, like she just made the best choice. And I'd be damned having all that money and then marry somebody that don't really got what you got. And if y'all were to divorce down the road, you barely knew that man because you met him on Love Is Blind. But let's say she did go on to know him because she probably ended up being with him for 10 years and he finna get a piece of your money. Fuck no. I'm not finna give you all goddamn. Hell no. I was with Megan. Don't marry his ass. Now, Jordan was asked about why he didn't want his child to meet Megan or something, or no, why he regretted allowing her to meet his child. And he said, well, it really was about stability. And that's the most important thing to me. And he says it had nothing to do with her, though, but more so with him bringing his child into this experience. And because he brought his child into this experience, he felt like he regret allowing her to meet the child. Honestly, in that moment, I do feel like Jordan was hurt, right? I think Jordan really should have said in my personal, in that moment, I was really hurt. I was still emotional. And I said something that, it took me time to really think about what I said. I said something in the midst of me being hurt. I was emotional when I said it, that I regretted ever letting her meet my child. But with much reflection, I realized that this wasn't solely on her and and her letting me down and not wanting her to meet my child, but more so about me introducing my child to an experience. Like, that's not fair to my kid to not even know who this person is that I'm meeting, preparing to marry them and bringing them into my child's life without my child also getting the opportunity to vet them as well and getting to know them as well, and me really vetting them as a parent to my damn child. I think the way he said it should have been different, right? But because I feel like he didn't really take full accountability for that. It was just more so, it was more so about stability. It had nothing to do with her. It's more so, about stability. And it was about me bringing him into this experience. Nah, nigga, you was hurt. And you meant what you said when you said it. You regret her meeting your child. But with reflection, you realize that all of this shit really on you. Because honestly, in my personal, he wanted to compete with that mama and her man, right? Oh, when Luca goes over there, he has a two-parent household over there. Da, 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 da. I'm ready for Luca to have a two-parent household over here. Ooh, and if I marry Megan, Megan is way more well off than my ex-girl, yada, yada, yada. That'll be great. And she'll want to be there for Luca and all this other stuff. So, yeah. You were prepared to put your child in a situation that he really shouldn't have been in. I do feel like with you having a child, as I'm thinking about it, and knowing that you're not gonna know all that you really need to know about this person. I don't think you should have did this. And I think he realized that, but I think he should have said that too. Like, it's not fair to my kid to just bring this lady home, this stranger that he don't really know. And it's like, hey, this is this is daddy's uh fiance. Oh, now we're married. Like, I don't know. Anywho, so Jordan thinks that Megan it would be a great mama though, because she was questioning that about herself and whether she'll be a good mom after things that happened with him. And he said she'll be a great mom, right? And she lets everybody know, I do have a little secret, just a little piece, and I want to let everybody know that yeah, I'm a mama now. I am a mom. She said I had a little boy about 2.5 months ago. His name is Brooks, and his daddy's name is Paul. He's sitting there in the audience, and anybody questioning, I met Paul through a friend. She says we kicked it, dated for about 3 months, and I ended up getting pregnant within those first 3 months of us dating. And we're happy. At the end of the day, he's great. He's a great guy. And Paul was sitting up there unbothered, unfazed, very comfortable, and very happy in that audience. And I couldn't help but to be happy for Sparkle Megan. Okay. I couldn't, and this is my first time about calling this lady Sparkle Megan. But in that moment, it was giving Sparkle Megan, because I was seeing all the love. It was giving sparkle, not so much as glow, but it was giving sparkle. And I was happy for her. I'm like, good for you, Megan. At the end of the day, things may not have worked out with him, but I'm glad that you ended up getting your happy ending. Right. And I do believe that you may have learned some things about yourself after being in this relationship with Jordan. And based on that suit Mr. Sir had on, I don't know. Paul look like he got some money. Paul look like he got him a piece of coin. All right. And Megan, that's exactly where you should be. Okay. I mean, Paul appears to look as though he's on her level. So I ain't even mad at it. So congratulations to Megan and Paul. Right. So I did feel like, though, for Jordan did look a bit still hurt, like he's not over the situation completely internally. And I was like, damn, what a way to suck it to him or sock it to him. Like, shit, you got to sit here and learn the fact that this lady was pregnant, just gave birth in a happy relationship, and for about a year now, and the man is also sitting there in the damn audience. Like, yikes. Okay. So I wanted to feel bad for Jordan a little bit. Like, damn, what a way to sock it to him. But at the same time, I mean, it happens. Okay. Don't work out. You got to move on. So Jordan says he knew about her, being with this guy and having a child because somebody sent him a disgusting person. He said, sent him a message via IG. I don't know why y'all be so focused on making sure to let people know about other folks, like oh, look, this what happened with da 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 da. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. Maybe they didn't feel like they were being disgusting when they seen it. I don't know. Maybe they thought they was being helpful. Like, hey, if you're dating her, just want you to know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what was in the people's head, but Jordan felt like it was disgusting for them to do that, right? And so he said he did go and ask Megan about it. But then at the same time, it's kind of like it was disgusting for them to do, but you still cared enough to want to know about it that you went and reached out to, like, hey, is this true? Because if you didn't really care or anything and you feel like, oh, this is so disgusting for you to even do this, I'm not even gonna bring this mess to her door. Right? You could have just left it where it was. So I guess it wasn't that damn disgusting because you decided to take it and say, hey, is this true? Did you really go and do that? So I don't know, but y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Cause I'm like, just how disgusting was they ass if you still ran the information back to her? Cause if you felt like it was disgusting, you didn't think she would feel like it was disgusting too. If you're so appalled that they brought that to you, what if it was a lie? What if it was a lie? Huh? But you brought it to her. Either way it go, she was honest about it, told him that did happen, found somebody else. I don't owe you no explanation. In all honesty, if you ask me, whatever he found, he really didn't. And now that I'm thinking about it, he didn't have to take none of that to her and ask her shit. Because once y'all relationship is over and done, okay? Child, I'm over here thinking about Destiny's Child, over and done. But anywho, child, once it's over and done, she doesn't owe you nothing. So for you to hit her up in her messages and question this and asking if this true and this and that, I wish she would have responded and said, I would like to, preserve my privacy, and I actually have nothing to share with you at this time. I don't feel like, to me, Megan owed him that. But she was honest about it, right? And she just told him, like, yeah, that's true. That's what's going on. I do have a child. I'm just keeping it under wraps because you know how the show go. We ain't supposed to talk about that. So it's on the low low. Like, it is what it is. Right. So anyway, so Jordan talks about hanging out with Mike, right? Because that was another one of her prospects, I believe. And he learned that Mike also went on a few dates with Megan after the show. Right. It is what it is. Mike gave him the heads up. It was all good. Megan also connected with Blake. So she went out with Blake. She said Blake wanted to apologize to her for ghosting her, and all is well. Now they talk about, I believe it was Mike that kind of said something negatively about, Jordan's child's diabetes. I can't remember what he said. I remember him being in the past talking about having healthy children. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he said anything else, but it was brought to the people's attention. And so that's when Jordan had to educate people on type 1 versus type 2, whereas type 1 diabetes is like an autoimmune disease that is genetics, right? And then he says type 2 is more so insulin resistance, right? He says that Mike did get the education regarding the difference, and that he also went on to donate to an organization. All right. So that is what Mike did. Don't know where Mike stands at now with his mentality and how he feels about that. but it didn't. It happened to Jordan, so Jordan accepted it, and Jordan is moving forward. Jordan like, I don't want no beef with nobody. Okay, I don't want to beef. Now Kaci was the only one who knew about Megan's pregnancy. How and why, don't know, but obviously they have a relationship. Now you got Kaci, Kate, I think it's Kat and Patrick. No, Kate. I think it's Kate. Kaci, Kate, and Patrick. Was it? Oh, was it Kat? I think it was Kat. I don't know. Anywho, they came back. No, it was Kate. It was Kaci, Kate, and Patrick. They ended up coming down and sitting down. So Patrick says it was slightly hurtful to see Kaci wanting to leave. Right? He says that he never got to see the full video to get full clarity as to why she didn't want to continue the process with him. But he kind of had an idea of what it was, and it appears to be that the idea was the fact that he was Asian. At the end of the day, that's what it was about. He was Asian. Even though she tried so hard to convince him that that would not be the reason, and she's open to different people and all of this stuff. Asian, my family member dates this person, that person. At the same time, I ain't feel bad for Patrick, and the reason being was because this girl told you that her ex convinced or told her you can go on the show like Married at First Sight or something like that, do your thing, get your clout and your attention, and then I'll still be here waiting for you. Patrick said, "Oh, did he tell you the same thing about Love is Blind?" And she said, "Yeah," and you still proceeded to move forward. And then you over here questioning, wanting clarity, wanting understanding as to why she would not move forward with you when she pretty much told you what it was. She was going back to be with that guy, and she couldn't go through with it. She was going to if you were better looking, and she probably would have still dumped that guy. Ain't no telling if you were better looking to her or whatever. Even though I don't think Patrick is the bad looking guy at all, but still, she told you what it was when you signed up, and now you over here looking for clarity. Like the whole goal was to play you. Like that's why she came on the show. In my personal, okay, so she talks about how all she wanted to do was protect him, baby. When the audience said, "Oh please," I said, one time for the audience. One time for the audience. Like, cause y'all was on point with that. Hello. Y'all was on point with that. Cause I was thinking the same thing. Like, girl, how you wanted to protect him? Protect him from what? Further getting his damn feelings hurt because you was finna walk down this aisle knowing the whole time that it was a goop in a game for you. That's what it sounded like to me. So maybe she was trying to protect you. So Jordan over there laughing, baby. Jordan is also me. Jordan is like, oh, this bitch is full of shit. Like, girl, get it out. What you trying to this hoe? You're so fake. Like, I'm hollering, right? So Madison says it doesn't make sense what she's saying, but she gets everybody has their own perspective, right? So she guessed. I think that was Madison that said it. So Kaci says that she heard Patrick ask for the ring back and then heard it was bad blood and stuff. So she don't know what's going on. And so Allie speaks up because Allie's ready to talk about it because obviously Anton must have asked her ass for the ring back too. So she's like, you know what? Like, this whole ring thing is really weird because Netflix was the one that provided the rings. Like, I'm just so confused as to why you want it back. Like, Netflix provided the rings, guys. Allie, shut the hell up. Right. So Jordan is like, but why keep it though? She says, well, why give it away? BITCH. Ain't nobody just giving no damn ring away. And you know that. They gave it to a person that they were intending on doing a journey with. Okay. If the journey is no longer happening, just get them the ring back. Why would you want to keep the damn ring if you don't want a connection with the person that gave it to you? Just give them the damn ring back. Let it go. Let him get the ring back and give it back to fucking production because clearly you're not gonna do it, right? But also, Kaci says that he told her she could keep it. And Patrick looking at her like, bitch, now when the fuck? First of all, let's be clear. Patrick says, I only told you that you could keep it because I thought that we was actually gonna try and go and do something and make this be something. That's the only reason why I told you that you could keep it. But when you got back to the house, you switched up on me. So Kaci says that she says that she texted him or whatever like that. She did say that she texted him and saying she's thinking about him or whatever, and Patrick wanted to talk but she didn't want to talk at that moment and she wanted to give it a few days or whatever. And girl, you knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing. Because she tried to say when he said, when you went home, you flip the switch on me. She's like, well, I was trying to, give it a second. Like, I wasn't really trying to flip the switch on you. I texted you and told you I was thinking about you. Right. But you wanted to have a conversation. And I went in that place to have a conversation at the time. I want to have a conversation like in a few days. Girl, what? Like the way Kaci lies is ridiculous. And I see why she's single. And I don't think any other guy should attempt to be with her. If they ever attempt to be with you, it's only really to fuck you and move on. Like you need to work on some stuff because you're not ready for no marriage either, boo. So Patrick says respectfully, he says, I just want to be friends and I just want to get the ring back. Like at the end of the day, let's just be friends and get the ring back. So Patrick says that she did reach out and he asked her for clarity, and she was pretty much having a really hard time with giving him the truth that he needed, the clarity he needed. He says since she was struggling to get her feelings out, he says it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we could just be friends. Like we don't have to be anything more than that. So it seems like he was trying to aid her and help her with saying the hard part out loud, that he didn't mind because he's understanding what this is now. And he said he wanted to have a phone call so they could talk things out or whatever, whether it ended in just being friends or not. He just wanted that call, right? And she said that she wasn't ready. I said, baby, the way Kaci is so full of shit is ridiculous. This lady is so full of it. So Patrick says, girl, this is your moment to just apologize for whatever it is that you did, and we can walk away with a clean slate. Like, just go ahead and apologize. She didn't want to give him an apology, y'all. She didn't want to get a man an apology. And Patrick, like, I'm trying to help you out because the people over here firing your ass up online. And I care about what the people got to say about you. Right? This apology is not for me, baby. It's for you. Because I don't need forgiveness from the public. I don't need people to look at me in a different light. You do. I'm trying to help you out. So Kaci says, did you care? Because you sent me a TikTok. You sent me a TikTok about being a side chick. And he's like, first of all, it was a joke. And honestly, you started that conversation already about being second. So I just sent you something else that you pretty much said, but I realized it was too much. So I said my bad and I pulled it back like, girl, I apologize. I'm asking for you to apologize now about what you did in public. Like, come on now, get it together. So she says, you deleted it because people were asking you, why did you propose to her? I said, this hoe is weird. Ma'am, this is another way of her escaping accountability, not apologizing, trying to flip it on him like he's the one wrong. When I tell you, Kaci and Annie really should be best friends because that is the energy that they both like. The energy Kaci gave in this one episode is the energy I felt Annie was giving the whole damn season. So y'all should really be able to be besties for real, for real, for real. Like, huh? So she don't want the people to tell her how to apologize because I think somebody mentions how she should or he tried to tell her how to apologize. She's like, I don't think people get to tell me how I should feel. And so he said something about how she should apologize. I don't think you get to tell me how I should apologize. Okay. Okay, girl. I don't think you get to waste his fucking time in the pods. Although I do feel like he wasted some of them. Right? But he was no, because who was her other connection? Was it? I think he was really like her only damn connection. You could have just left, like others did, and moved on, but you didn't. Okay, so you wasted his time. Did all of this performative ass hugging and jumping up on him and kissing him, and I feel like the producers, or at least not the producers, but Nick and Vanessa, I don't feel like they leaned into that more. Like, why did you put on a full show? Why did you put on a full show only to turn around and not communicate with him when you got back? Why didn't you just say what it was and you try to convince the producers that it had nothing to do with his looks? Whole time it had something to do with his looks as you're literally gripping this man's fucking face. Insane. Insane. Absolutely crazy. And honestly, Patrick, at this point, the fact that you have to keep asking her for your ring back, let that bitch have it. Let her have it. Because whichever woman's going to come after her, like, why would you even want to give them that ring after it's been on this lady's hand? Like, she could have it. I know if the lady that you're with saw this show, I don't think she would want this ring at all. I wouldn't. Why would you want to pass the ring over to me that you gave to this one? Absolutely not. I don't want nothing to touch her finger. Absolutely not. Okay. But anywho, so Kaci made this so difficult in my personal, the way she was avoiding accountability. They bring out Chris Paul. Now, although I thought this was cute to bring out Chris Paul and they, throw shots and do the baskets and stuff, I don't really understand the correlation that it really had to the damn show, despite the fact that they were playing games in the pods. Like, what? It was kind of cute, but at the same time, we didn't really need it for real, for real. Okay, only for y'all to turn around and say that they're playing for the ring. Only for Patrick to lose and for him to have to give the ring back to her ass. Like, what was the point? What was the damn point? But shout out to Chris Paul for coming in and collecting that quick few thousands of damn dollars just for an appearance. Cause y'all got the budget. They don't know what they doing. He's just giving it out. Like, that's just what's going on. Okay, y'all just out here just giving it out, huh? Child, I would have went up there and collected that check too. Woo, 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 woo. I would have did too. What you talking about? Like, yeah. Let me pass me that, Edmond. Woo, 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 woo. You think I wouldn't have? Yeah. Let me go and collect this quick 20 racks. Like, what? Hello? Let's keep going though. Wasn't necessary at all. Kaci says that she was attracted to Joe when they tried to ask her, was there anybody here that you were attracted to? The way that she was struggling to get it out, I was like, yo, get this out right now. Go on. Just say it. Say who it is and shut up. Oh, this damn tug of war with you double dutching and hide and go fucking seek with your red light, green light. But you better, girl, who was it? And that's what happened with most of the damn editing. Most of the time, like with the conversations, we spend more time on Kaci trying to get through her fucking thoughts and just say what it is. You done ate up a lot of editing time for you to not have spent much time on this season. Hurry up. So, anywho, they dated very briefly, but they was up there acting like they still was dating or still messing with each other. It was something awkward about that. So they saying it was like a month and a half for them for how long they dated, right? When Madison saw this, of course she rolling her eyes like, yeah, bitch. Whole time Madison knew, because I'm like, first of all, Madison, why you rolling your eyes, girl? The man didn't like you. He didn't like you, girl. Unless he was still trying to pursue you, then that would be another thing, okay? As to why you rolling your eyes, right? So Madison says that she knew about them and says whatever they had going on, she felt like it affected the connection that she had with him. And I'm like, or at least it affected their engagement. And I said, Madison, baby, why did you watch this whole show? And again, maybe he was showing her something different. But for me, I'm just like, he didn't like you. It's like, how loud do we have to yell this out to you that the man was not interested? And you're trying to fault other people for the reasons as to why it did not work out. It didn't work out because he wasn't interested in you. Yeah, he enjoyed fucking you. And I wish women would learn the difference. Just because a nigga fuck on you does not mean that he likes you. Sorry. Oops. Spilt the beans. Like, girl, it does not mean that. Just like some of you ladies, y'all might fuck a man and don't mean that you like him. Okay? That don't mean nothing. I might just have some cute little pipe. Like, I like this pipe, but I'm not like long term. No. No. Okay? You're a filler person for me in the meantime, in between time. That's all this is. Like, you thought you was going to be my man? Oh, no, baby. Nah. You thought we was going to go that far? Oh, no. No, I don't go that far, honey. Okay, you cool. I like what you're doing down there. You know what I'm saying? But if you think that this finna go further, like long term, that's not gonna happen. Okay, cut it out. So she says that she saw Kaci, right? And so basically, this what happened. When he had that whole scene where he was like losing it at the tux fitting, the next day or later that night or something, she was hanging with him and his friends. She was telling his friends how much she cared about him, all of that. Next thing you know, she turns around and she sees Kaci there with her hands on his chest talking. And that's what made her think that, okay, whatever they got going on affected us. Because the next day, he breaks it off with me. So she thinks that Kaci was to blame, right? So Joe says that Kaci was giving him googly eyes. That's what he ran back and told Madison. All right. Now Joe denies it and says Kaci had nothing to do with our story. It had nothing to do with that. So she said, well, why you didn't tell me about your meltdown at the tux fitting, right? And you over there having me confessing my love and all of that to your friends and stuff, knowing that you wasn't gonna marry me then. Why you ain't say that? Okay. And Kaci says that she didn't start talking to him until no. I can't remember what his response was, but he just pretty much reassured her that it had nothing to do with that. Like, okay. Of course, Nick Lachey confirmed the milk, all of that, whatever it was. Now we get to Kaci. Kaci says that she didn't start talking to him until the end of May. I think him and Madison broke up at some part in April. So they started kicking it at the end of May. But they dated for a month and a half. Then this conversation of this young lady named Avery comes into the picture. And with Avery coming into the picture, it sounds like it was some overlap between Joe and Kaci and Joe and Avery. Something about that didn't make sense. And that's when Joe was like, well, see, you about to get me in trouble in home. Ain't nobody about to get you in trouble. You about to get your damn self in trouble. Because this is what you was out here doing. So Madison says that she found out about it at Mike's pool party, right? When Kaci approached her talking about we're Eskimo sisters. Bitch, what you said? What did you say? Why did you say? You know who she reminds me of? Y'all know who Kaci reminds me of? I don't know if y'all watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but she reminds me of Brittany. It's something about it. It's like this is like sums up here. Okay? She reminds me of Brittany, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That you coming over here telling this damn girl like we're Eskimo sisters, like she really wants to hear that you fucked her ex. Like, girl, what? You're weird. Like Kaci couldn't be around me. I'm sorry. Kate, I know that's your girl, but do not have I don't her. No man. I need time. I'm just telling you what I need time. I need time. She is a liar. She wants to be a deceiver so bad, right? Manipulator, but she can't get her stuff right to be a smooth one at that. Okay? Even though she technically is a deceiver if she a liar, but she ain't a smooth one. Cause she don't never think her through. She's just like, I just can't. I don't have the capacity. She can't be around me. Okay. So she says Kaci bitched to her about how he treated her, right? And Kaci says they had so okay, so I believe this is what Madison was saying. Madison was like, oh, she came to me, told me about us being Eskimo sisters, and she was over there bitching to me about how he was treating her and stuff, or whatever the case was. Then Kaci wants to deny it and say, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this right now. I can't believe you're saying this right now because we really had a good conversation. Like it really was good. Like we had a good conversation. What? Whole time, Jordan had a whole nother chick at the pool party who's his girlfriend now, right? Kaci says that it was no drama, right? Madison and Kate says that, girl, why you lying? Because you was legit over there crying over Joe and talking about how he was treating you. First of all, you are a weird, I'm sorry, I've been trying not to say weirdo, but I'm going to have to say it. A fucking weirdo, okay? And honestly, Madison, you about weird too. Right. And let me say this. I'm not going to say fully weird, but this is where I'm going. First of all, Kaci, you weird as hell to be approaching your Eskimo sister about her ex-fiance and how he's treating you like she's supposed to give a damn. What? And then Madison, you standing there even allowing her to feel like she can come to you to talk to you about Joe. That's weird behavior. But also, I feel like Madison at some point likely enjoyed the fact that this woman who approached me on we're Eskimo sisters isn't getting any better treatment than what she got from Joe. So who cares? I'll watch you. I'll listen to you in your pain, bitch. Yeah, sure. Yikes. Yeah, Kaci remind me of Brittany, baby. Brittany, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is crazy. So Kaci was trying to lie about the fact that, oh, there was no issue. We didn't have any issue when we were there, right? And then she finally admitted that she was crying over Joe and how he was treating her. I said, girl, you did all of that just to come back to confirm. I said, can y'all put her off? Tell her segment has wrapped and she could go back. Send her back to wherever she came from. Okay. Now Madison still doesn't know why he ended things with her. She said she was uncomfortable to watch. It was uncomfortable to watch him speak about her body because it opened the door for other people to talk about her body. Right. And so I think I can't remember. I think he may have like apologized or acknowledged that or whatever. It was just really confusing because he was also like struggling to get his damn words out. And Madison was like, I was just really confused at one point because we went out to eat. So this is even after the breakup. This the man got all this damn overlap between Kaci, Madison, and damn Avery. All this damn overlap he got, right? So you hanging out with Madison at one point. You're meeting her. You're walking her out to her car in the parking lot. You're kissing on her. Then you're crying. You're doing all this weird energy. I can understand Madison being a little bit confused. So even though he was talking about her body and stuff, at the same time, he was making her feel like he was still into her. But he was full of shit. So I don't know. Mm, mm, mm. Kate, we learned that she's friends with Madison and Avery, right? She says everybody gets along just fine, like they cool, it ain't no issue. But I feel like Madison is only around because one, she really does like Kate, and two, she's just here to watch everything the train wreck happen. Because I feel like from what she knows and learns of Joe, she doesn't see that relationship being successful, especially when Joe goes on to talk about how him and Avery has gotten back together and broken up and gotten back together and broken up. So I don't know. But Joe definitely had the ladies spinning on his top, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anywho, Nick apologizes to Kate for the way he ended things with her. And he says he failed to take control of the situation and he definitely used faith to control the situation. And he's working on that. He's working on that. I can appreciate Nick coming right out the gate to apologize and take accountability. But also with that, with him doing that, y'all, he also was taking control of the conversation too. He was trying, and setting the tone for how the conversation was gonna go. Because I feel like he know exactly how Kate can really come. Now, Kate says that Nick DM'd her right before the show because she was like, "Yeah, you thinking you gonna be able to give me that apology and think I'm not gonna call you out for real? But yeah, like you had plenty of time to apologize to me and you didn't. Okay, I didn't like the one that you gave me in my face because I felt like it was fake. Then when you heard I was coming on a reunion, now you want to hop in my DMs and you want to give me an apology. Oh yeah, now I'm finna clock that T on your. If you think it's a game, nah. When you knew I was gonna be here, then you want to say, "Oops, sorry." Cut it out. So Kay says it didn't seem like he wanted a marriage, but he wanted an audience. And she says his lines was given very repetitive because he'll say some things to her and then go and say something to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so cut it out. Right. And she says that so as she's talking about him not being a genuine person and stuff, I started noticing Nick's facials started to change. In that moment, I felt a little bad for him because it seemed like you could tell he was hurt. And I just started to think about some of the comments that a lot of us may have made about Nick. And I say sometimes, we'll watch these shows and we forget that these people be human sometimes and that they actually see some of the stuff that we say. And it just made me think about that in that moment for some reason. I don't know why I thought about that. Like, dog, what if he is or if he isn't a gay man? And a lot of us are willing to believe that or whatever and put these narratives out there. I just kind of felt bad for him. And it also made me feel bad for Edmond too. So I don't know, y'all. Just my honest thoughts, okay? Um, so that's that. So anywho, Annie decides to speak up for him though. So she got to take up for him. And she was like, I'm gonna have to disagree because you feel like it's repetitive and he's saying this to you and he's saying this to that person and all of that. But it's like we're in this type of pressure cooker situation where we're trying to find our match. So some things are going to be repetitive when you're dating. And if you're dating two people, it's possible for you to love more than one person at the same time. So it's like, I mean, that's what ended up happening. So I'm gonna defend him. And he was like, at one point in the conversation, he did tell her, like, if she needs to, I guess jump on his case too, she can. And she was like, nah. I think Annie didn't because there's still some type of love that she has there for Nick in my personal. That's what I think. But it was what it was. Like I can see Annie's point because sometimes when I listen, it does seem like they are saying the exact same thing. But I feel like there's a way to say the same thing in different ways. But when I hear guys repeating certain particular lines to multiple women, that's a problem. You can mean the same thing and say it differently, but if you saying the same line every time, I can't get with it. But Annie talks about chasing the picture while she was in the pods, right? Basically, the idea of what she had of a perfect marriage, a partner, whatever, that's what she was chasing. that when she got out of the pods, she was chasing the feeling that she had when she was in the pods. And she found herself being the only one trying to actually force the relationship the entire way. So it sounds like to me when she says that, it does confirm a little bit of what to me Kate was saying when she was like, I don't think he was here for a marriage. I feel like he was here for an audience. Then you got Annie talking about how much she was chasing this relationship with him. And she was the only one the entire time. So it was like he was never all in to begin with. She does let us know when she was texting somebody on the couch, it was her best friend. Because her best friend was trying to see if she should get that flight. And she was like, I don't know, girl, don't get it. Because he breaking up with me right now. Don't do that. And I'm like, girl, I'm glad you stopped your home, girl. Okay? Because Calabria didn't. Allie didn't. And who else didn't? Was them the only two weddings? Oh, yeah, I think those was the only two damn weddings. They didn't stop. So Annie says that she doesn't wish that she would have chose Brendan over Nick. Because a lot of people have been saying she should have chose Brendan. Now I'm glad she didn't. I'm glad she saved Brendan the headache. For real, for real. And I mean, hell, they could be talking now, to be honest. She might be talking to Brendan now. And maybe things are working out for the both of them. And she just, glad that she didn't bring him through that process because he probably would have dumped her. Who knows? Okay. Now, Kate and Brendan. We learned that Kate and Brendan dated briefly, though. She said that they dated briefly and she went and she had told Kaci and the homegirls about it. She was all excited. And next thing you know, she saw Brendan all over Kaci at one point. Kaci is an op. She is male censored. She is an op. And y'all gonna have to let her go. She's gonna be a problem in any friendship. The fact, like, for me, I could never feel so comfortable to date and smash somebody my friend has smashed. I just can't do it. I cannot. It's too many people. It's too many folks in the world. Like, I just couldn't do that. I just can't. What you choose to do after me, girl, that's on you. Okay. But I can't do that. And then be in your face talking to you about how they made me feel. I cannot. That's my moral code ain't set up. Like, I just can't do it. So, anywho, right? So Brendan was all over Kaci or whatever. We talked about that. Kaci says that Patrick was there. Y'all, Patrick was like, I was like, when the fuck was I there? Was I there? Like, I don't remember. Was I wasn't there? Don't put that shit on me. I wasn't there. Girl, I hollered. And she was trying to say, well, no, he wasn't like there physically, but he was still like in the picture where I was trying to figure things out. Stop lying. BITCH exclamation point, exclamation point. Stop. Now, Allie and Anton finally, because we spent too much goddamn time on Kaci's ass. This BITCH was not on the show, but she was intertwined in damn near everybody's situation. Okay? She reminded me of the girl from season 1, too. Season 1 of Love is Blind that was supposed to be marrying the guy with the blonde haired girl that was supposed to marry the guy with the black hair. I don't think he was Asian. He may have been Hispanic. I cannot remember. Maybe he was Asian and she ended up dumping him and everybody drug her. It's like, go away from me. The one that was also interested in what's the other? It's a you have Lauren and Cameron, and then it was the other two that I cannot think of their names at this time, but they had the dark hair. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. They went on to get married. They had a daughter and stuff. They're successful. And she was interested in him. Was his name Brandon or Brendan or something? I can't remember. But anyway, and let's keep going, child. It was a mess. So Allie and Anton. Anton says what his best friend girlfriend went to go tell Allie was nasty work. Okay. And he said, I only met this girl twice. And for her to feel like she needed to talk about me and discuss me was fucked up. Now I did kind of feel like it was messed up too. Because what the hell? Why would you say that and do that? But then at the same time, I think Allie needs to be made aware of what she's coming into. Right? And so the guy said she just wanted her 15 minutes of fame. And I'm kind of like, 15 minutes of fame. She really didn't even get that for real, but I guess. Because y'all let me know. I don't think she got 15 minutes of fame. So he felt like it was sneaky and it was shady of her. It kind of was. It kind of was. It kind of was. It kind of was a little piece. Now, Allie never talked to Anton about the strip club or whatever happened at that moment. Because I was wondering why we never talked about it. Right. And she says there was a lot going on and it slipped her mind to talk to him about it. So you mean to tell me something that just disappoints you so much, something that you're so disgusted by a guy going to a strip club and all of that, something that's so big to you, it slipped your damn mind for you to talk to him about. But you kept talking to him about his drinking. That don't make sense. I don't know why she didn't bring it up, but okay. She said she had a hard time having a convo with him, I guess, on her side when she was in the pods or whatever. It was hard having a conversation with him or something. And I don't believe that. I don't know. So she says that she was she says on camera he had a big personality. And I'm like, no, he didn't. Anton's personality really wasn't that big on camera either. It was the same as the pods. Whatever you said, he agreed to it. And when he got out of the pods, whatever you did, he went along with it damn near. Like, okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Like same shit he was doing in the pods. Like what? So she says, but she says that he knew what she wanted when she was in the pods and he tried to be that on camera, but off camera, he was so different. Y'all, for me, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time believing Allie. I believe who she saw is exactly what she got, and he was damn sure a yes man the whole damn time. Now, Allie says her friends didn't impact her decision when they were talking about what he does for a living. And she said that she understood where her friends were coming from, though, based on their background, how they grew up, and everything. All in all, it doesn't matter because Anton is dating and his girl was in the audience. And I was happy for Anton. I'm glad you moved on. I'm glad you got somebody in the audience. Now, they asked Allie if she's dating, and she gonna sit up here and say she appreciates the interest in her personal life, but she wants to keep it private. I said, damn, that kind of gives to me that you single as hell. And you don't want to let him know because you don't want him to feel like he one upped you or something like that. But also I thought about it and I said, could she be dating somebody on the cast? And that's why she's not trying to say anything because of how everybody reacted to Kaci. Or because it also gave a Huda response when Huda was on Love Island, right? Oh, I don't know. It's something I can't discuss my relationship because of Netflix, right? So it also gave to me a little bit that, girl, are you about to go film another show? Are you about to leave Love Is Blind and go do Married at First Sight or something? And that's the reason why you can't discuss the relationship. Either way, good luck. So KB and Edmond, we finally get to them at the very end, and honestly, they could have saved this whole conversation because for me, we learned nothing. Um, Nothing changed. To me, KB still was trying to beat certain things into his head, and I'm like, it's above you now. Like we're past that. It ain't no need to really beating it, but let's keep going. KB pulls out a note after being asked a question, and she wanted to make sure she answered specific things. She said people were talking about them trauma bonding, but really they actually became best friends when they were in the pods, right? She said she felt like his tears outside of the pod was manipulation, right? She says when the tears went away, he became an asshole to her. Right. She also referenced, a lot of people had a lot of critique for her decision to choose him when she only got what she heard from him. She didn't see him kissing the floor and probably eating boogers or whatever it was that he was doing. She didn't see any of that. Right. And that's true. And that's fine. You didn't have to see that. But the fact that Edmund is struggling to even articulate himself and get his words out, that wasn't enough. Also, I feel like you must not have asked enough probing and detailed questions about his background and his past. So those are also reasons why we were coming down on you, not just so much as for antics or things that he was doing, right? But more so things that you may have not done, right? So there were other reasons why we came down on you. And then you also said that you were drawn to his story. You weren't drawn to him as who he is for real. You were drawn into his background and what got him to this point, but not really who he is as a man today. So I don't know, but okay. So anywho, Edmund says that he doesn't want to manipulate anyone. He says that he only wants to speak from his heart, and that's it. And he says that the fact that, she took it as though him expressing himself was him being manipulation made him be afraid to be vulnerable with her. And I understood what he was saying. He was really struggling to get it out, but I understood what Edmund was saying. And I understood what she was saying too. And I feel like her communication style for a person like him, in my opinion, has to change for him to understand what it is that you're saying just a little bit. But for him, it's like every time we talk, you talk about things that I'm doing wrong, doing wrong, doing wrong, doing wrong. Because honestly, it's sad, but it's kind of like Edmund is like a child in a sense, right? That's why I say their relationship is like mom and son. You will have to encourage him on the things that he's doing right so he can continue to do that. Like, oh, I like how you communicated with me today. I like how you told me what it is that you need. I like how you did. And so it's going to make him feel comfortable to share that with you more. But every time you look up and you like, badgering. I don't like when you do this and that. Why you make me feel like this and that? Do you dismiss me? Then he gonna shut down, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, cause I don't know. I don't know. That's the short answer, girl. I just don't know. It shouldn't have to take all of that, but unfortunately, everybody different in this situation. Okay. So KB says that she always looks like a angry black woman on camera, and she tried to put that off on him. And it's like, listen, I don't agree with putting all that on him, right? Some of your reactions may have been justified, but at the same time, it's always going to be about how you respond to it. You made a choice, in my personal, to look like that. And producers may have made a choice in editing you that way. She was basically trying to say the things that he was doing off camera, we wouldn't see. And when she comes on camera, she's upset about something, right? So it looks like it's a heightened situation when we don't know that he just pissed her off a few hours ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, granted, I still don't feel like that would be at his fault. I feel like that would be at the producer's fault and how they edited the situation. But that's how she felt, like an angry black woman, right? And so she wanted to talk about things on camera. But then also, that's the other problem too. When things are happening off camera that you're trying to address on camera, it does not translate all the time because we didn't see or know what the fuck you're talking about. So if it was an issue about that, and that's the reason that you got upset, like, oh, he didn't help me out earlier that day, and then he said to this guy, oh, or at least to Annie and Nick, I wish that I would get some kudos and some praises and stuff like that, and then you automatically just get upset with him. I don't think that's fair, because even if the cameras weren't around, I don't really like when people use a situation that has nothing to do with how you really feel to get off how you feel. Like, if you feel a way about that, keep it about that. But don't be using this situation to let all your anger out and be mad when this ain't really what you mad about. But all in all, I mean, it made more sense when she explained the story to us after the fact of what happened earlier that day, right? That would be frustrating for anybody when you're looking for a partner to help you out and his ass can't even go to the store or do something and help your load be a little lighter. But the whole argument at the restaurant or whatever, the hangout, the hoedown, whatever they had, like, that didn't make sense. Like, it wasn't that big of a damn deal. And you really were projecting your feelings from earlier that day onto him that night, only to find out what the real issue was later. So yeah, that wasn't gonna translate for us as the audience either because we didn't see that shit. But okay. So Edmund says, he loved and he respected her, and there was times where she was PMSing, and so everybody was like, "Oh shit, no, he didn't." And I'm like, "Y'all gotta this is Edmund, child. He learning. He don't know, girl. All right." And so he pretty much said she needed her space. There were times she was going through stuff, she needed her space, and he wanted to give her that. So KB recalls a time of Edmund getting on his knees, begging. I'm sorry, being obnoxious, right? Begging her, something like that. Oh, I love you, KB. I this and that. After somebody just told you that you were being obnoxious. Yeah, that is a problem. And then you proceed to go into the house, and then you go inside the damn cabinet. Like, that is very obnoxious behavior. But what is going on with you upstairs that causes you to not hear what somebody just said? That, I feel like it's bigger than what KB is feeling like. Oh, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't do this. He acts like this. He goes back to being somebody told him he's being obnoxious. He's not taking it in, and he just goes back to doing what he's doing. This is something that has been embedded in him since he was a child. Like, this is something else that's going on with him. He's not dismissing you to, in my opinion, to be just to flat out be disrespectful to you. And maybe he is, but he got something deeper going on with him. Something deeper that you cannot fix, Miss Social Worker. All right. So she's talking about he dismissed her the entire 3 weeks. Edmund doesn't recall some of the stuff she's talking about. I'm like, there's another thing. He got memory issues, right? So at this point, I'm willing to believe that he's not doing a lot of this shit intentionally. Okay? It's okay. It's deeper. It's deeper, right? I hate that he was ever on the show, y'all. I really hate it. Watching the cast reaction to him and also knowing how a lot of us reacted to him on social media, he should have never been casted for this show. And out of all of the black men that y'all could have fucking highlighted on this show, y'all chose him to zone in and focus on. And y'all asses are going to make the most of the fucking money while he's only going to inherit the income of mental abuse based on the shit that people have said about him online. He's going to inherit that fucking depression and anything else while you motherfuckers is sitting up there inheriting the fucking money off of his damn back. Absolutely disgusted by you motherfuckers for casting him. And honestly, it ain't even no shade in really casting him, because a lot of y'all want everything to be inclusive. Y'all want disabled people or whatever the case is to be treated fairly and also be a part of these shows. I get that. But at the same time, for y'all to drill in and focus on their shit, I disgusted. Disgusted. It was other black men that y'all could have zoned in on and their connections. Like, come on now. Fucking disgusted. What else is going on? Edmond says that he never hears the good things from her. He feels like he tried to give her his all, right? And KB says that she tried to love him how he needed to be loved, and he did it. You know, he didn't deserve to be cussed at. And she says she felt really icky afterwards. She tells him to never accept that from anybody because there's no love. Like, that's not love. And Edmond still goes on to tell her, because again, Edmond has a cognitive or some type of issue up there. Edmond says that no matter what she said, he still would have stayed after she just told him, don't do that. Like, no matter, like, I understand you would have stayed, but what I'm telling you is, okay, that you don't deserve that type of behavior. So don't ever accept that type of behavior. Right? So again, right there, so he says he would have never found a woman like her if it wasn't for this experience, all of that. In the show, Blake comes out with protein ice cream because it's Jordan's birthday. I thought that was cute. Thought that was nice. Sung happy birthday to Jordan and everything. And what the hell was it about the clip at the very end, ending with Allie and Anton? That was very weird. It came off as though their connection isn't over with. And why would y'all play that if he got a damn girlfriend? Like, that shit was stupid, weird. Y'all need to go back and take that piece out because it was unnecessary. But leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invade the gym. High elevator.